In this video, we'll see a couple of extra things about the read.csv function. So the read.csv function can be used to read, obviously, a CSV file. We have done that before. In this case, I will be loading this CSV that you can download from the Google Drive that is provided in the description. So this CSV is pretty simple. It contains username, age, and date. And the first thing that I will show you will be the following. So when we read this, you can see that the headers are imported automatically, right? You can see that username, age, and date are read as the column names, right? Now, what would have happened if I wrote head equals to false? I run this, I see F again. You can see that now R is treating that first row as if it was just part of the data, right? And R automatically generated column names for me, so B1, B2, B3, B4, and so on. So this is obviously in this case it doesn't make sense because we already got the header, but there are lots of situations where you will receive CSV files that won't contain the headers, and you will need to specify them manually. So the way you specify them manually is by using col.names. So use col.names equals C. And in this case, we could put, let's say, user right here name. We could write here age. So anything that I want, date, for example. So if I run this again, you will see that now on the first row here, you'll see that the column names have changed. So that's quite useful. Again, in this case, this doesn't make much sense because my data already contains the names. So if I want to remove them, this is quite easy. So let's imagine I want to remove the first row. So by using the minus symbol, you can see that I used the minus symbol here, and it removed the first row, a row out of here. So that was quite easy. If I wanted to remove a couple of rows, I would do something like B from C2 to 3. So here I will be removing 2 of them. Oh, sorry, because I didn't specify the comma, you can see that I removed the columns. If you don't specify the comma, this will remove columns. So be careful about that. So let's go back to F. This is what the F that I had. And if I do the following, so in this case, you can see that I removed two rows and I didn't touch the columns. So again, this is the same syntax that we used in the previous video, but here the difference is that if you use the minus, it removes the elements. The fact that there is nothing specified here implies that R should keep every column, and here it will be quite the opposite. So it will be keeping every row. So if you don't specify the commas, R will think that you are dealing with columns and will basically want to remove the columns. So that's one thing. The other thing here is that, and let's go back to our example. So let's read this again. So this is F. In this case, the headers are included, so the correct approach is to either omit the head statement and just leave it as its default. So the default is head equal to true, or obviously put head equal to true. So because this is active, this doesn't make any sense, so I will remove the col names. So this is F again, and this is what I have. Now, what happens if I do str of F? So if I do str, you can see that I get a description of the date frame. So I get ints, factors, int, factor, and so on. So one thing that R will do automatically when it reads a file, it will think that strings are factors. So factors are essentially a variable type in R that contains different levels. So you can see that here, for example, for the name, we have factors. and we have 3, 2, 1, 3, 4, and so on. So these numbers are generated internally by R, because obviously if we have factors such as names, they will tend to be repeated every now and then. So it's actually a way more efficient to store strings, because R, instead of saving for each row what's the name of the person, it will save a small table containing a mapping between these keys 3, 2, 1, 4 and the names. So if you have Anna happening twice, R will save at some point Anna 3 and 3 again. So it's a quite more efficient structure. But bear in mind that factors are not very well suited for dealing with text. So if you want to cut the text, or append to a factor, or to split a factor by using a character, or some weird thing with characters, factors are not the best option. So that's why the read.csv comes with a handy option, which is strings as factors. And this is actually quite useful. So every time you don't remember the specific name, you could use the help function. I will use help read.csv. So this will open the help function here, and if you go down somewhere over here, let's go down. So here you can see strings as factors. So I will use this one. So strings as factors, and I will put this equal to false. So if I do an str of f, you will see that now they appear as characters. So name appears as character, and date appears as character. So obviously this doesn't make much sense for dates, because dates should be treated as dates, but we'll see that later. But the important thing is that for the case of here of the names have properly been transformed into characters, not into factors. So I will be able to run very powerful text manipulation functions later by using this column in the appropriate format.